In a peaceful monastery nestled in the hills, a great master lived with his disciples. Many students came to him in search of wisdom, hoping to understand the secrets of spiritual and personal growth. One day, a curious disciple approached the master and asked, "Master, how can we progress in our lives and become better individuals?" The master listened intently and, after a moment of reflection, replied, "Come, let us take a walk to the marketplace. Perhaps there we will find your answer." Curious but eager, the disciple followed his master on the journey. They walked for some time, passing through fields and villages until they finally reached the bustling marketplace. Vendors called out their prices, merchants bartered, and the streets were alive with activity. Amidst the noise and movement, they came across a potter sitting at his wheel, skillfully shaping a lump of clay into a beautiful, symmetrical pot. The disciple was captivated. He watched as the shapeless, formless clay slowly transformed into something refined and elegant under the potter's hands. Unable to contain his curiosity, he turned to the master and asked, "Master, how is it that this potter can mold the clay so skillfully into such a beautiful pot?" The master smiled and said, "Let us ask him directly." The two approached the potter, and the disciple humbly asked, "How do you create something so wonderful from a simple lump of clay?" The potter paused his work, smiled, and replied, "The secret lies in the clay itself. When the clay is soft and willing to be shaped, I can mold it into any form I desire. But if the clay is hard and resistant, no amount of skill can shape it. The beauty of the pot comes from the clay's willingness to change." The disciple listened carefully, his mind beginning to grasp the hidden wisdom in the potter's words. As they left the marketplace, the master turned to his disciple and said, "Did you hear the potter's answer? That is also the answer to your question. Just as soft clay can be molded into something remarkable, our ability to be adaptable and open to change determines our growth and success." The disciple nodded, beginning to understand the significance of the lesson. The master continued, "In life, we must remain flexible and willing to adjust to new situations. Challenges, difficulties, and unexpected changes will always come our way, but if we embrace them rather than resist them, we turn obstacles into opportunities." They walked in silence for a moment before the master added, "On the other hand, if we remain rigid and unwilling to change, we limit our progress and hold ourselves back. Just as hard, dry clay cannot be shaped. A closed mind cannot grow. Only by being adaptable can we truly evolve, improve, and make the most of what life brings us." The disciple absorbed these words, realizing that personal development is not about resisting change, but learning to work with it. From that day forward, he resolved to embrace adaptability in his life. He would no longer fear change, but instead welcome it as an opportunity to learn, improve, and become a better version of himself. If we reflect on our own lives, we will see that just as clay can only be shaped when it is soft and willing to change, our lives, too, can only be molded into something extraordinary when we remain flexible and adaptable. Throughout history, those who embraced change and adapted to new circumstances found greater success and fulfillment than those who resisted it. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a well-known concept, impermanence, Anicca. It teaches that everything in life is temporary and constantly changing, from our thoughts and emotions to the world around us. Resisting this natural flow causes suffering, but embracing it leads to peace and enlightenment. Buddha himself taught that rigid attachment to any idea, belief, or situation leads to suffering. True wisdom lies in our ability to adapt to life's constant changes with grace, mindfulness, and acceptance. How to apply this lesson to life? Stay open to learning. Growth comes from a willingness to learn new skills, unlearn old habits, and challenge outdated beliefs. Embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and success often comes to those who can adjust their plans without fear. Turn challenges into opportunities. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, view them as stepping stones to something greater. Practice mindfulness. Accept the present moment for what it is, rather than wishing it were different. By being fully present, we can navigate change with clarity and wisdom. Let go of resistance. Holding on to the past or trying to control everything will only lead to frustration. Adaptability means letting go of what no longer serves you and embracing new paths. The story of the potter and his clay teaches us a profound truth. Life is constantly shaping us, and our willingness to adapt determines our success and happiness. If we remain rigid, resistant, and unwilling to change, we limit ourselves. But if we become like soft clay, open, flexible, and ready to embrace transformation, we can be shaped into something truly extraordinary. So the next time you face an unexpected change or challenge, ask yourself, am I resisting or am I allowing myself to grow? Because in the end, life is not about avoiding change. It is about learning how to move with it, shape it, and use it to create something beautiful.